Hello, welcome to the Moonhigh podcast. I'm Squirrelflight. I have
Solar heart. Sorry.
I have Alpha here, and I have a special guest.
Woo!
Yeah, Amberpetal.
Woo, I'm here.
Yes, awesome. Okay, so today we're going to be doing the Leafpool versus Squirrelflight epic debate. Or it's not really a debate. It's not really structured like a debate. We just are doing arguments. So, uh,
It's a debate. You're
yeah.
about to be debated right off a cliff into the Team Squirrelflight
No.
land.
Yeah, I put together a very long one, so I'm glad we're
Okay,
not doing
well, let's
time
hear
limits.
first point.
It's not really points, it's just a long thing.
Okay, well, go ahead with your argument then.
Okay, so at the first I have just as what happens in the prophecies begin through Omen of the Stars in Leafpool's perspective. So Leafpool helped her sister by using her special sibling connection whenever Leafpool thought of an herb that Squirrelflight needed.
Example?
Yeah, so Tawny Pelt, Leafpool would used her mind powers to tell Squirrelflight that Tawny Pelt needed an herb, which was burdock root. Yeah,
Okay.
to heal her
Seems like a
mind
minor thing.
infection. Yeah, but I'm going through all of it. Okay. So she is definitely a caring sister here.
Okay, I have to.
I'm not saying that Squirrelflight isn't. I'm just saying that Leafpool is. So you can't.
Well, then that's equal already.
Yeah.
Boo! Terrible
Okay.
argument.
Leafpool befriends Mothwing, the new River Clan medicine cat apprentice, and helps Mothwing whenever she's in need of help, as well as delivers messages from Star Clan to her before Willowshine existed. But yeah, so she's definitely a caring friend. Eventually, Leafpool is trapped by Two Legs while looking for Brightheart and Cloudtail, so she's also a caring clanmate. During this time, she befriends a kitty pet named Cody, and she has once again earned herself another friend with her lovely personality.
Wait. I've never heard the name Cody in all of our time talking about this.
Because it's a kitty pet. Cody is a kitty pet from the
second
series, and also the Forest Territory, so they don't really know
I'm at
Cody.
a disadvantage because I don't know any of that.
Yeah, Cody was nice and wasn't in it a lot, so Leafpool met Cody at the place she was trapped in, I think, like, this animal shelter place. Just the construction workers that were tearing down the Warrior Cat's forest brought them there to the animal shelter place. I don't know. Okay, so Leafpool escapes the animal shelter, that's what I'm going to call it, with the help of a rescue patrol led by Graystripe and Squirrelflight. She takes part.
And who? Led by who did you say?
It was their mind power thing, okay? And
but who saved the day though?
Graystripe.
No, Graystripe and who?
Graystripe and Squirrelflight.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you were able to admit that.
Graystripe was the real hero here, okay?
How did Graystripe find Leafpool?
Through Squirrelflight's mind powers.
Yeah, thank you. I think that is the correct way to say it.
Sure. She takes part on the great journey and, guided by Spotted Leaf, discovers the Moonpool by the lake, earning her full name. Which, definitely honorary medicine cat. Not that all the medicine cats aren't, but I mean, I'm sure there are evil medicine cats. I've heard of evil medicine cats a ton. So
that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Continue.
Leafpool and Crowfeather fall in love and decide to flee the clans together.
Wow,
Yeah.
what a good decision.
Yeah, I
A
know.
great.
Can Crowfeather's contagious recklessness be helped? No, and unfortunately, Leafpool got it. At least that's what I wrote down on here. It just sounds so weird whenever I say it out
I
loud.
didn't even hear what you said. What did
Can
you say?
Crowfeather's contagious recklessness be helped? No, and unfortunately,
You're no. Recklessness is not contagious.
well, I mean, sure. After one night, they meet a badger, Midnight, who tells them that her kin is planning to attack ThunderClan. Leafpool realizes that she cannot abandon her clan and her medicine cat duties, deciding to go back. What a lovely medicine cat, coming to her senses finally. This is exactly why medicine
I
cats
think there was
never
another
have.
detail that was left out of that story. Like something else happens during that time.
Were you there? You didn't read this?
I know, but I find out things. What are you thinking so far? Special guest? Totally forgot. what I'm supposed to
So
call
far,
her.
yeah, I agree so far with what
Amberpetal.
Squirrelheart has said.
With who?
Me.
With Leafpool? Oh man. Okay. Well, tables will turn later on. It's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Alright.
So we just need to wait until I get to Squirrelflight. So after Crowfeather takes her home, Cinderpelt dies in the badger attack, and Leafpool pledges her loyalty to being a medicine cat. After the clan recovers from a deadly green cough outbreak, Leafpool gives Jaypaw his full name,
Wait,
Jayfeather.
how did Cinderheart
Pelt.
How did Cinderpelt die? Is that
A
the car
badger
thing?
attack.
A badger. Was this caused by the incident of her running away?
No.
What was it caused by?
Cinderpelt, like Midnight's kin attacked ThunderClan, and that was the badger attack. And then Cinderpelt was protecting Sorreltail, who was having kittens who had Cinderheart, and so that is how she died.
Okay, not relevant then, I guess.
Yeah, not
Okay,
really.
sorry.
After the clan recovers from a deadly green cough outbreak, Leafpool gives Jaypaw his full name, Jayfeather. When I must.
Wow, we skipped some.
Yeah. Yeah, they weren't even born.
We skipped some parts.
Lots.
Okay. So you're skipping a whole chunk of time.
Yeah. So Jayfeather.
I don't have any chunks of time.
Jayfeather was named after Crowfeather, who named himself after his former love Feathertail. But that's not really important.
Crowfeather named himself.
Yeah. Like whenever he was about to be named a warrior, he told Tallstar he wanted to be named after Feathertail.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. But he shouldn't be named after Crowfeather. Now should he?
Yeah, no, he shouldn't.
Yeah.
When the three learn that Squirrelflight and Brambleclaw are not their true parents, Jayfeather puts the pieces together that Leafpool is his mother, and Leafpool tells Hollyleaf the truth herself. Once Hollyleaf reveals the secret at the gathering, Leafpool steps down to become a warrior. Hollyleaf orders her mother to eat death berries, but Leafpool refuses and tries to reason with her.
I don't even remember that, but that's vicious.
Honestly, I get where Hollyleaf is coming from. It caused.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it caused a lot of problems, but the other two of the three had to be born, so that was very
Hollyleaf really likes to kill cats. And they be causing her trouble. She's just like, kill them.
Yeah, you're trying to say that she is like Tiger Star here a little bit, because Tiger Star didn't kill that many people. He killed Redtail and Gorespaw, and well, he ordered someone else to kill Gorespaw, and he attempted murder several other times. But
so you agree with Hollyleaf when she's like, "Hey, Leafpool, maybe just die."
well, I mean, it describes it from Hollyleaf's perspective a whole lot.
And you're like, "Yeah, that sounds like a good idea."
No. I'm saying I get where she's coming from, but not like that's a little extreme.
Yeah.
With Leafpool no longer a medicine cat, Jayfeather struggles to take care of the clan by himself. Leafpool is not a very good hunter or fighter at first and spends time close to Squirrelflight, who is also shunned from the clan, as she should be.
Whoa, why was Squirrelflight shunned from the clan?
Because she was in
The
on the whole
whole 3
secret
thing? Why
Yeah.
was Leafpool not shunned from the clan?
Yeah, she and spends time who is also
Oh yeah.
shunned.
Okay, yeah.
When Lion Blaze and Breeze Pelt are fighting, Leafpool screeches to Crowfeather to stop them. Obviously, because they're both his children. While Jayfeather remains distant, Leafpool grows close to Lion Blaze, who seeks her advice about Cinderheart. Now, Leafpool gives a very good quote here, so I'm going to quote her.
Oh, we got quotes.
Yes.
Cool.
Destiny isn't a path that any cat follows blindly. It is always a matter of choice, and sometimes the heart speaks loudest. Deep down, I always knew what I had to do, and that's why I came back to the clan. Whatever else happens, I trust you to know the right thing to do as well. Listen to your heart, Lion Blaze, because that's where your true destiny lies. She clearly learned from her mistakes and managed to turn it into useful advice for her son. She is overjoyed when Hollyleaf is revealed to be alive. Well, it makes sense. It's her daughter. And before the great battle, she assists Jayfeather with preparing herbs. The clan agrees that she is a gifted medicine cat and should be given a second chance. Now there's a gap here, so would you like it to say anything?
Yes. I feel like we glazed over the root of this debate, which is the whole 3 being born.
Yeah.
We barely have spoken of this.
Well, we're going to come back to it. This is just like the summary of Leafpool's life. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I didn't need a whole summary of Leafpool's life.
Yeah, well,
she's boring, don't you know?
I was told that, okay? But I really like Leafpool. She's boring, but she's interesting because she doesn't need a whole other
Because she ruins
plot line.
everyone's life.
She doesn't need a
That's
plot line to keep her character alive. So she doesn't need an interesting and juicy plot line like the rest of the characters to keep her story alive.
She has a juicy plot line. Her plot line is, let's ruin everyone's life.
No, not that. But it's all. I've heard she gets more interesting in A Vision of Shadows, which I just haven't read yet. Also, I'm gonna continue now.
Who does?
Oh, yep. Anything to say, Amberpetal?
So, who are you talking about? Like, gets more interesting during A Vision of Shadows. Apologies.
Leafpool.
Leafpool. I don't remember anything she did during that arc.
Look at that. Super boring.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I haven't read that far, but I was searching on like Google forums or Warrior Cats forums and stuff, and I heard like someone on there said that Leafpool was like a whole bunch more interesting in a Vision of Shadows.
Clearly,
but probably
she
not.
doesn't have much to improve. The bar is very low so far for her being interesting. So I'm just saying.
I thought she was an interesting character. I really liked her. Leafpool is quiet, attentive, fiercely loyal, and devoted to keeping secrets. She is empathetic, compassionate.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Devoted to keeping secrets. Emphasis on that.
She is empathetic, compassionate, determined, and brave, though her boldness leads her to break the warrior code and trouble many of her closest relationships. Yeah. This isn't
all of them, I would say.
Yeah, this isn't really anything important. I just stumbled upon it whenever I was searching the internet. Leafpool is named after Leafstar, a Sky Clan leader, and Spotted Leaf, a former Thunder Clan medicine cat.
Oh.
Yeah. I've heard. Oh yeah, I already said that. I've heard Leafpool is better in A Vision of Shadows, but I didn't type that part out because of spoilers.
I have like 2 notes over here. You're reading a full-on novel.
So I'm gonna say something directly from what the Warrior Cats forums on someone here. I really like how she never stopped loving her kids after they rejected her multiple times, which isn't really even fair because Squirrelflight did that too. She
Oh,
she
no.
learned to accept that they didn't love her and decided to accept her fate as a strong warrior. To me, I think she's strong in her own way. People don't like how she moped around, but do people really expect her to be happy after the way she was treated? She was wrong to lie, but she had to save ThunderClan. Cinderpelt was gone. What could she have done? Okay, and then here in the next paragraph I have, let me just express some crowfeather hatred.
Some Crowfeather hatred?
Yeah.
Poor Crowfeather, what did he do?
A lot.
A lot.
Oh, no. Okay.
He basically shunned Leafpool because she chose her clan over her mate, which...
Okay, I agree with him. I agree with him then. I'm fully in support of, like... she's just... Oh, I'm just gonna... You go ahead.
Okay, Blue Star had the same problem, except it was her kittens, which she chose her clan over her kittens, but it's...
Yeah, I don't agree with Blue Star either.
And Oakhart was just a great character cat.
Legend, I would say. I don't even know him, but I know enough.
Yeah, Blue Star chose her clan over her kittens and never met up with Oakhart after that. He never said he didn't love Blue Star, but Crowfeather said that to Leafpool. Yeah, I'm just using this as a comparison. Now for Squirrelflight.
Oh.
First off, a quote, which it's... Actually, I'm not gonna say that quote. It was just... I'm just gonna say the if you want me to say the quote, I will. I don't care. But it was in the Long Shadows book.
Okay, what does it pertain to?
What the whole fire thing with Ashfur. Anyway, Squirrelflight.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead and say that.
Kill them then. You won't hurt me that way. If you really want to hurt me, you'll have to find a better way than that. They are not my kids. Ashfur could have actually killed them because she said that, especially if you didn't believe her. It was a huge risk to take, and after the three finding that out, it just made them hate Squirrelflight more.
Listen, I have a defense, okay? She said that because she was wanting him to like he was gonna kill them because they were her kids, right?
Yeah.
So they were gonna die anyway. He was gonna kill them either way. That was like a Hail Mary type of like grasping at the last straw. You know?
Yeah.
She was trying to make him mad. She was saying everything she possibly could to make him mad at her and not them, and so that they could like be like, oh, so
okay.
Terrible defense.
Well, if Ashfur was smarter than that, he might not have believed.
But he's not. He's not smarter than them. So
yeah,
no
but
worries.
did she know that?
She did know that. She knows Ashfur very well, I would say.
She was hanging out with Ashfur all the time after Brambleclaw was pretty rude to her. Okay. Brambleclaw becomes very close to his half-brother Hawkfrost. Squirrelflight distrusts Hawkfrost and their relationship greatly, and after multiple arguments with Brambleclaw, they break up. She finds comfort in her friend Ashfur, which, I like Brambleclaw, so I'm just gonna say something here. It was a stupid argument. She should have accepted what he said or asked Leafpool to tell him about his troublesome brother. Leafpool would have done it because she's just that great.
Okay, wait. How did Leafpool get into this? Say that again.
So, Squirrelflight was using their whole mind powers thing to figure out that Leafpool didn't trust Hawkfrost at all. And so, since Squirrelflight noticed that Brambleclaw was hanging out with his half-brother Hawkfrost all the time, she stepped in and was like, don't hang out with him, okay? He's evil. And, so she just basically said she didn't trust him and stuff like that. And so...
What's wrong with that?
Squirrelflight brought it up several times, and Brambleclaw was still like, he's my brother, okay, I'm gonna talk to him, you do what you want. And so, I put, she should have just accepted what he said, and just got over it.
Yeah,
And
because when I suspect someone is like murderous and evil, I'm just gonna let people
she
hang
didn't
out
even
with them.
know he was murderous and evil. She thought
Listen, when you
she
got a gut
just
feeling, then you got a gut feeling. Okay,
okay.
that's all I'm gonna
But
say.
she was right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
she was
come
right.
on.
But she should have she should have done that, or she should have brought it up to Leafpool to tell him about his troublesome brother, because Leafpool would have done it because she is amazing.
Uh, how do you know she would have done it? Leafpool likes to like lie and keep secrets. I don't think that that's very like you know. I don't know that we know she would have done that.
Well, I think she would have, because she's very close with her sister, as I know.
Squirrelflight like speaks her mind.
Yeah.
Leafpool definitely does not do that. So I don't think she would have said anything.
Yeah. Well, maybe. Uh,
Ah,
but if a Squirrelflight told her to, she definitely would have done it because they're sisters, and she likes her sister. So
she likes her sister, so she forces her to take care of her kids.
yeah,
Not very sisterly.
let me just get to that eventually.
It,
Seem to be putting that off. Big detail. Let's get right on into that.
Okay. Brambleclaw is furious that he was lied to, cutting ties with Squirrelflight. Squirrelflight should have just told him in the first place. Brambleclaw deserved to know, especially if he were raising the kids with her. Also, I want to add in here that I will be furious if Squirrelflight becomes Squirrelstar. I'd much rather she die. I'd also be happy if she steps down as deputy. She doesn't deserve it. Okay. After the great battle, Brambleclaw becomes leader and appoints Squirrelflight to be his deputy as a display of forgiveness. And it's built upon nothing but that, so Brambleclaw needed to choose someone else as a deputy. I certainly wouldn't be opposed to Lionblaze as the deputy. It's fitting because he's the best suited to protect his clan, if you don't count Firestar, Bluestar, or Greystripe.
You talk real fast. I'm like barely keeping up. Sorry.
Okay, well, I said Lionblaze would be a better
Good leader, yes.
deputy than Squirrelflight. Or a better leader, also.
I mean, I like Lionblaze, so.
I think Lionblaze is a good cat. I don't think he'd be good for leading a group of people.
He's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
He is. I absolutely love my boy Lionblaze, but he is really stupid.
He makes some bad decisions.
Yeah.
Probably Leaf isn't around too much anymore to be like, hey, wait, don't do that.
Yeah.
She used to do that for him.
Yeah.
And he would ignore her, but at least it was there in the back of his
Yeah,
mind.
like the whole thing with Heathertail. Like,
Yeah.
she warned him. And then
Yeah.
he ended up having dreams about killing Heathertail. So, but still, there are other ways to forgive her besides making her his deputy. Like, sure, I get it. There's nobody else he trusts more. That whole thing sort of made sense, but he could have outright told Squirrelflight that he forgave her for not telling him about her kids. Okay, so, anything
So
else?
are you saying that Squirrelflight is such a wonderful, terribly awful person because she didn't tell Brambleclaw?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I sort of agree. I think that sucked for Brambleclaw. But in her defense, she was protecting her sister, who put her in a very difficult position. So, what was she to do? Like, what if she had told... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Other thing I wish to mention is that I checked like the wiki a bit because I was bored, and I read the summary of Leafpool's wish. Something I wish to mention was that Squirrelflight was, it's not really the right word, but I want to say like Squirrelflight was blackmailed into taking in the kits, basically.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I did too.
Yellowfang is, because Yellowfang is annoying. So
Let me
again,
just scroll
it's
down
like,
to that part here, where I have a whole thing on that.
Wait, so is it good that... Are you saying that, like, Squirrelflight doesn't get credit for taking them because she was blackmailed? Or Squirrelflight is amazing because she did take them?
so I'm pointing out that she didn't want to originally take the kits in, specifically mentioned because she would have to lie to her clan and Brambleclaw at the time.
Yeah.
Because of that, I don't think you should really blame her. It's kind of like if someone, I'm trying to think of how to say this. It's kind of like it. I'm bad at analogies. Hold on a second. I feel like okay, because if she had not taken any of those kits, then she and Bramblestar would never have had children, according to what Yellowfang said. If you're curious, Yellowfang straight up lied there. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Ah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, in A Vision of Shadows, one of the main characters, Alderheart, is Squirrelflight's son, like biologically.
Yeah, so
But
is
Yellowfang said she
Sparkpaw.
couldn't have kids. And Sparkpaw, yeah, it's insane. But yeah, she believed that it would make Bramblestar the happiest to take those kits in because otherwise she would not have been able to
Oh,
have
I
kids
didn't
with
even
him.
know this.
Me either.
So
See? Even better for Squirrelflight.
so then, it would make Bramblestar the happiest, and also she was kind of being repeatedly pestered by a StarClan cat, Yellowfang, to take in the kit. So it was also a holy action to do so. That's what I'm saying.
Yes. See? See?
Yeah. Okay.
So she didn't want to take them in because she didn't want to lie to Brambleclaw. And also, the whole clan it's a bad thing. Didn't want to hurt the clan. Did Leafpool have a problem with this? No, she didn't. And then she ends up taking them anyway and is a wonderful mother the whole time.
So is Leafpool.
How so?
Well, do you remember with Jay Feather? He was he was annoyed by Leafpool just acting all motherly because he already had Squirrelflight for that, and also Leafpool having her motherly moments guiding somewhat Hollyleaf, and also Lion Blaze.
Okay, so Jay Feather was like, wow, she's acting like she's my mom. And then that's your defense for her being a good mother? That doesn't count. That just means she's sort of motherly sometimes because she feels guilty.
Yeah. Also, Fern Cloud and Daisy were were with them as kittens more than Squirrelflight, pretty much.
So that's because she didn't have milk and she was a warrior. What is she to do? Just hang around in the stupid den all day?
Not all day, just enough to be there and say hi.
Well, she wasn't really doing it. She did. There was plenty of time where she was in there and she just was like popping in to say hey. But she also couldn't just sit in there and be useless. Like she obviously wasn't doing any good there because she can't feed them, so she has to go be useful somewhere else. Double amazingness because she's a mom and she's out there hunting and fighting. Amazing. So glad you pointed that out to me. Thank you.
I know. I just remembered that you could have said that against me as soon as I said it. So, I have decided that it's understandable why people like Squirrelflight. That's what I put in my notes. She has been through a lot, but the fact that she and Leafpool didn't trust their own father, whose best friend was in a half-clan relationship himself, Firestar, with their kit problem, is so frustrating to me.
Did he not know, though? Because I'm not sure that he didn't know.
Yeah, I was looking at Warrior Cat forums, so they could be mistaken, but that's what I got from it.
And also, he's the leader, so if they had told him, that'd put a lot of, problems in his head.
Yeah.
Having to, throw out his own daughters. I don't think that I would have told him either.
Yeah. But they were worried that Firestar wouldn't be okay with it.
Well, that's... Yeah.
Well, his own best friend was in a half-clan relationship, and eventually he was like, oh yeah, okay, blah. And he constantly broke the warrior code. And just...
I mean, Firestar broke the warrior code too. They could have told him, and it probably would have been fine.
That's what I
But
was
I
saying.
think,
I was saying that Firestar constantly broke the warrior code.
well, they could have told him, and it would have probably been okay. But they also that would have been putting a lot of like burden on his shoulders at the
Not that
same
he
time.
didn't have that already.
But I mean, more more issues that he would have to be dealing with. And he'd be like thinking about that all the time.
Well-
Every time he looked at the 3 or Brambleclaw or Leafpool or Squirrelflight, he'd be thinking about that, and it'd probably affect his decision making and some things. So it would have done more harm than good to tell him, I think.
Mhm. Yeah, that gets me back forward to the whole Yellowfang thing. Also, Yellowfang shouldn't have done that. She should have said, "Oh, well, maybe it's a good idea to tell your father, Mousebane. This seems like something Yellowfang would do, like in series 1. It would give Firestar a chance to grow as a father and a leader, as well as influencing their fears for better, not for worse. Also, if what Yellowfang said was true, adopting the 3 would have been her only chance of becoming a mother, therefore influencing her decision. If Yellowfang never said that, it proved Squirrelflight to be much less of a caring sister because she wouldn't have taken care of Leafpool's kittens. Would she have left Leafpool in the dust? Are they as close as they claim to be?
Listen, time for me to jump in, okay? If Leafpool had said no, I can't take them, then I mean that's not really her problem anyway. So it's still up to Leafpool. Or I mean, if Squirrelflight, did I say? I don't know. Anyway, if Squirrelflight had said I can't take them, then like it's not her problem to begin with. So it's not her. Like if she says no, then she says no. You know?
Yeah.
It's Leafpool's problem to figure out. She could have either continued leaving with Crowfeather, which that would have been great. Wouldn't have had the 3, but that would have solved the whole
Actually, we would
issues
still
of
have the 3.
sister
They just
issues.
wouldn't be in ThunderClan.
Yeah, well, whatever. But no, she could have left. They wouldn't have had a medicine cat, but they would have figured it out, I'm sure. Somebody would have stepped up. And then if she did keep them and she went back, her dad is the leader. Nepotism and such, I'm sure she would have been fine. Like, is ThunderClan really going to throw out their only medicine cat that they had at the time just because she has kits? Like, she could have said, I won't be involved with them, but I'll just be a medicine cat. And, she could have went back and told the whole clan and then not been involved really with them anyway, but she didn't. She forced her sister to keep this secret forever, and it just caused a whole big ruckus.
Yeah, I know. Why didn't they just give it all to Firestar? He knows what to do.
Honestly, yeah, she could have been like, Dad, I messed up.
Yeah. What I've been saying though is that it makes Squirrelflight look really bad that she was taking the kittens for her own reasons and not really.
No, doesn't make her look bad. Ow.
I'm trying to find the spot where I talk about that.
You and your notes.
Oh yeah. So here's Firestar's idea. Oh yeah, I know. You can say they're abandoned loner kits that you found, and then Squirrelflight and Brambleclaw can raise them as their own.
Dude, that would have been genius.
Yeah.
Why didn't you do that?
I don't know.
That would have been great.
Yeah, I know for a fact that Brambleclaw would have loved them the same no matter what.
I mean, that still doesn't make her look bad. That was Leafpool's decision.
Yeah, it just makes her look less of a good sister.
Ow!
Because she wasn't willing to do that for her sister. I mean, I know it just seems huge. I know it's something huge, but like Leafpool would have done the same thing for Squirrelflight. If Squirrelflight was a medicine cat, of course, but if she wasn't a medicine cat, they wouldn't be put in that position. So,
I'm confused as to what you're saying. She's like, are you saying since Squirrelflight didn't take them and say they're loner kids, makes her look bad?
No, I'm saying that Squirrelflight didn't do it for. They're the same thing for sister, and I know Leafpool most certainly would.
She didn't do it for Leafpool? She did it for herself?
Yeah.
Whatever the reason, she still
Well,
took care of kids, right? I mean,
in my mind, she did it more so for Bramblestar.
that and nice because she wants her lovely Bramblestar to have kittens with her because she felt guilty, even if it was for selfish reasons, which is just insane because she's taking on a whole huge responsibility. So it's not really that selfish anyway you look at it. But if that was the case and it wasn't for Leafpool, that was just a nice little bonus. It still doesn't make her look bad because she's still taking care of little kittens that don't have anywhere to go because their mother abandoned them.
Okay, so let me add something in here. I said in the beginning, Leafpool is a caring sister. It's also scummy that, that Squirrelflight doesn't reciprocate the love and care that Leafpool shows for her. Yeah, I know the things Leafpool does for Squirrelflight are small, but that's what matters. If Squirrelflight was given the opportunity to do a big thing for Leafpool and Yellowfang didn't lie, then why would she turn it down unless she just didn't care about her sister?
So you're saying since it took Yellowfang stepping in, then Leafpool isn't caring because she wouldn't do it just for Leafpool. I mean, yeah. Did I say that right?
Yeah. Well, you said Leafpool and Leafpool instead of Squirrelflight.
Oops. Well, you know what I mean. Like, Yellowfang convincing Squirrelflight, and that's what you're saying is bad. Instead of Leafpool just saying, "Here, take my kids," and Squirrelflight should have been like, "Yeah, sure, because you're my sister."
I mean, she could have thought about it first, but still,
She should have immediately been on board.
Yeah, like that's huge, but she shouldn't have been just pressured into it by Yellowfang and all of StarClan. Like that just seems wrong.
Yeah, it does. Poor Squirrelflight. I mean, being all pressured and such.
Well, one of my favorite things that I learned about, like from like searching stuff up on the fandom and stuff, is that Yellowfang does so many stupid things in StarClan. Like she was the one that caused Ashfur to get into StarClan.
Oh yeah, she did. She did do that.
What?
Yeah, she was just, don't you judge him. He only loves too much.
That's
Yeah.
kind of true though.
The specific one was his only crime was loving too much.
Yeah.
Once you guys get to the Broken Code, you'll see that Ashfur was much more unhinged.
Epic.
Yeah.
Love evil characters. Get Yellowfang though. I would be like that. I'd be like, "Aw, look at him. He just loves too much."
He tried to murder 3 13-year-olds
Yeah.
and their mother.
I mean, it's not great. Not a great look. So Dark Forest it is, I guess.
Yeah.
But I was trying to look at. I didn't ever get to really read about Ashfur and Squirrelflight, but from what I read on like Google, they were just like together for like 2 days or something, and then he got obsessed. Is that true?
Wait, who?
Ashfur.
Who? Oh yeah. Those.
So like.
It was just like one book.
Oh,
Really.
okay. Pretty short amount of time then.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of wanted to feel bad for him just because. But then I read a little bit more about what he had done, and I was like, nah.
The argument with Brambleclaw and Squirrelflight was in like the end of Starlight and the beginning of Twilight. So, just basically one book length is how long Ashfur and Squirrelflight were just there.
What were they fighting about when she went?
Hawkfrost.
I honestly thought you were going to be like, wow, she just left Brambleclaw because they were fighting and she went to hang out with Ashfur. I thought that's what you were going to say, but you haven't said that yet. I mean, that's not. Doesn't look great for her. You didn't say that. I said it now, so it's out there.
Yeah, thanks for helping.
But I mean, that's not a huge thing. It's just like
So
she was
something
mad.
interesting I do want to mention that I remember like hearing about was during Squirrelflight's chapters, it never says that she's hanging out with Ashfur to make Bramblestar jealous. It only says that during Bramblestar's chapters, implying that it was Bramblestar making up that idea. It wasn't
Yeah.
even Squirrelflight trying to do
Definitely.
anything.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even think that that's what Squirrelflight was doing. I just thought that Ashfur was just comforting. Maybe he
That
was
kinda
like
makes
this
me wanna
crazy
like
stalker guy.
Yeah.
And he sees the chance to be anywhere near Squirrelflight. I don't know why you even like Squirrelflight though.
Why do you dislike her? I want to hear some reasons. I mean, I guess maybe we heard some, but
I really liked
I
Brambleclaw.
haven't heard any good ones.
I really liked Brambleclaw and I really liked Leafpool, and it was just like
I love Brambleclaw. Okay, so don't even.
and the Broken Code. No, not that. The prophecies. Not that one either.
The second one.
Yeah, the new prophecy. And the new prophecy, the first book, Midnight. Squirrelflight was very whiny and just forced Brambleclaw to take her with him on this journey, even though it was like because StarClan was the one who chose him to go on the journey and not Squirrelflight. So Squirrelflight wasn't chosen, so she shouldn't be able to go on this journey. I mean, I know Stormfur went with Feathertail, but Feathertail wanted him to go with her. So
Okay, so she wanted to go on the journey. Isn't the journey like to help the clan? She wanted to help the clan. It's a great reason for her to be amazing. I wouldn't say that's a bad thing. She's wanting to be helpful. And maybe she's crushing on Bramblestar.
I doubt it.
At this time, I don't know. They hated each other.
Well, Brambleclaw very much hated Squirrelflight because she was Squirrelpaw at the time, and Dustpelt was a metaphor, I think. Oh.
Eventually, he saw how wonderful she was, obviously. So.
Oh my gosh, I just thought of something. So Squirrelflight was mentored by Dustpelt, and so was Ashfur, but Ashfur was basically neglected by Dustpelt because he was all obsessed with Ashfur's sister, Fernpaw.
That's a lot of names that I don't know.
What?
I don't know most
like,
of the people you
forgot about
both Squirrelflight and Ashpaw were mentored by Dustpelt.
Okay.
So,
And?
I don't know. I just wanted to say that. I didn't really think of that until now. It doesn't really offer anything to my points here, but yeah.
Fun fact, huh?
Yeah.
You know, something else that I think is interesting is that Bramblestar is the son of Tiger Star, and Squirrelflight is the daughter of Firestar. And those are like mortal enemies, but their like children are together. I thought that was just funny.
Yeah.
Which is maybe why Bramblestar and Squirrelflight bump heads all the time, because they just think about things differently, you know?
Yeah.
Very different parents.
Mm-hmm.
Although Bramblestar isn't anything like Tiger Star, I don't think, but
yeah.
I know I was reading, there's a lot of people that hate Bramblestar, so maybe I'm wrong.
There are several people that hate Bramblestar.
Like, I was shocked. I love Bramblestar, so...
Yeah. A lot of people say that he's, like, abusive to Squirrelflight. I think.
I haven't read a whole lot other than The Power of Three, so what do I know?
I've read, like, 2 chapters of A Vision of Shadows, like the first book, and he seems angelic, so I don't know what they're talking about.
Angelic. Awesome. Okay. Do you have anything else?
I don't know. You were getting me all messed up here, so I sort of stopped going in order after a while.
Ha. Strategy. Just kidding. honest of not having that many notes, I guess. Okay, so I'm just gonna throw some things at you. Like, and by things I mean like the two things that I have written down.
Okay.
One thing that I said was Squirrelflight does everything for a good reason. She believed she was doing the right thing on every one of the decisions she made. So in my book, even if she messed up, it was for a good reason. So it's kind of okay. You know? And the big difference that I noticed between her and Leafpool is that she, like, if it's the warrior code versus like actual moral things where it's like maybe we shouldn't, like, breaking the warrior code isn't as bad as like a cat dying for it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, but Leafpool would probably let that slide because like she is all worried, or at least she breaks the warrior code. She just doesn't want anybody to know she's breaking the warrior code. You know, like when she does the whole kit thing, the whole kit situation. She does everything to make sure that nobody knows, and it doesn't. She doesn't really care about how it affects everyone else, like the kits and Squirrelflight and Ramble. I mean, Squirrelflight and Ramble already have their issues. That's just really not helping, you know. And then also, Leafpool cared more about her clan than her kits, which is the opposite of Squirrelflight because she cared more about the kits that weren't even hers than she did the clan because she took them in and was like, "Oh, who
Yeah,
cares about the
but
warrior code?"
Squirrelflight was worried about her whenever she was making the decision about taking in Leafpool's kittens.
Okay, so she was considering everyone then. What a good soul she has.
You said you, you said that she chose her kittens over her clan, and I was trying to tell you that she chose her clan over her kittens.
How though? She took the kittens, did she not?
Yeah, she did, but it wasn't her kittens.
So she's an angel. Okay, next point. um, oh, Leafpool's choices only helped herself. That may be controversial, me saying that. Just try to defend. Just try to prove me wrong. Leafpool's choices only helped herself, and I'm only referring to the kit situation. How did that help anyone else other than Leafpool?
Well, if you look at what I was talking about with Firestar and Yellowfang, um, yeah, Yellowfang had the opportunity. Well, that's not Leafpool, but Yellowfang had the opportunity to help Firestar grow as a leader and a father. If she had just like been like, "Hey, why don't you go talk to your father about this and stop worrying?" Um, I mean, obviously you need to worry at least some way.
Okay, but how did Leafpool's decision help anyone but Leafpool? It didn't. That's how you answer that. Selfish. She's selfish.
Can you just slow down a little bit here? Let me think.
If it takes that long to think, then selfish. Case closed.
False.
I mean, she didn't help her kids. That wasn't really her main priority, which it should have been. She didn't help her sister, obviously, because she put like a whole heap load of trouble on her. She didn't help the clan. She went back. I mean, she may have a little because they needed a medicine cat, but that's her helping herself, really, because she wanted to go back and be the medicine cat and not have any of her mistakes come back. She didn't take accountability. She just skipped all that. Was like, I'll just go back to normal and let my sister handle it. No, that's what happened. And Leafpool, no, Squirrelflight, on the other hand, um, did the opposite. She helped her sister. She helped freaking Star Clan. She helped everyone. She helped the kids. She helped Bramble Star. He wanted kittens and she could give them to it. She helped the whole world. That's what I'm saying. And Leafpool was just like, she'll handle it.
Because Leafpool knows her sister.
She knows her sister is amazing.
False. She knows her sister can handle herself. Just
Yeah, I
as
guess.
people can.
She obviously couldn't handle mistakes that she had made.
Neither could Holly Leaf.
Oh, snap. Like mother, like daughter. Anyway, that's what I got. I'm pretty much done. That was my whole discussion. And I think it was a good one. I win.
Can we just... You didn't even let me answer to any
You
of
can
your
go.
arguments.
You can answer. I'm just
Okay.
saying, I don't have really.
So, Leafpool realized that she cannot abandon her clan and her medicine cat duties, so she decided to go back. So it was also her clan, not just being her medicine cat. She had to help her clan by being a medicine cat, and it wasn't just because she liked it. Like, she could have gone off with Crowfeather and still been a medicine cat.
Exactly. She had planned on going off with Crowfeather, which is
No,
like...
she hadn't. At one point, he was just like, "Hey, come with me. We're gonna escape the clans, and we're gonna live outside of this and not have to deal with the rest of our clans." And the whole thing.
She was like, yeah, let's do it.
Well, she thought she had to think about it first.
So she really wasn't fully into helping her clan then. She was on the fence about whether she should ditch them and leave with him, or if she should stay. Shouldn't even be a question. She should have stayed. Well, it could have been avoided.
Okay. Amberpetal, do you have an opinion on this?
Well, I think she should have just stayed. I think going with Crowfeather was a pretty dumb choice.
Yeah, I do too.
Right then, so you're saying Squirrelflight wins?
No. I'm saying that, yeah, she made some dumb choices. So did Squirrelflight.
Nah, very tiny, insignificant mistakes she made, I would say. Like, Leafpool's mistakes,
Yeah.
much larger.
Leafpool had the ability to recognize her mistakes and make them right in the end. And
How'd she make them right?
well, she went with Crowfeather, and then she realized, oh, hey, my clan needs me, and so she went back. And so she realized her mistakes. She fixed it by going back, and then eventually the clan realized that her...
Yeah, but there's still a
kin
whole mess of
just
trouble to
back.
deal with when she turned around and was like, oh wait, I maybe shouldn't be doing what I'm doing. She still had the whole kit situation that she had now burdened Squirrelflight with. Shouldn't really make that better.
Mm-hmm.
Except maybe later when she was teaching Jay Feather. Like, any medicine cat teaches their apprentice. So, like, being attacked. Okay, anything else? Any other points in that novel that you've read?
Most of this is just like stuff that I've read. Like, I don't know what you've read, and the stuff that you've read doesn't really match up with this, so I couldn't prepare any points for that before. So I don't really know, but I can look at this here and say that it's stupid because the whole mind link thing was never used after the new prophecy. It was only used to get burdock root for Tiny Pelt and to find out where Leafpool was when she was missing. And then after that, nothing. Not when Leafpool was sneaking around with Crowfeather, not when she got pregnant, and nothing else. Also, speaking of the new prophecy, Squirrelflight was extremely selfish in Midnight. She basically forced Ramble to take her with him on the Sundown Place journey and complained the whole way there.
So she's a little whiny. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I don't get their whole mind power thing. I didn't even know about that until you told me about it. And I read power of 3, and it like didn't come up at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like forgotten after the first 2 books it was mentioned in.
That's pretty crazy to me.
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense that the 3 had their powers though, minus Hollyleaf. Oops. But they like it makes more sense because it was just kind of like, to me it was like all of a sudden these 3 kittens had powers, or these 2 kittens had powers, and I was like, wow, that's weird. Nobody else does, but technically in their blood. I just didn't know this because it's never talked about, ever. Anyway, are you trying to distract from how amazing Squirrelflight is?
Well, yes, but also, on the forums, it's that I was reading, it said the one that I looked at specifically was just this person disregarding everything that Squirrelflight has been through, just because they hated Squirrelflight strongly, and specifically how much the fandom talked about her. But it was, they were just mad at how much sympathy Squirrelflight was getting. So that's not what I'm mad at. It's more with her actions and inactions after the problems happened.
Inactions?
Yeah.
Explain.
Oh wait, what?
Explain. How was she like not acting on things?
I had that in my mind at the time. I don't know what that is now. I should have written it down. Ah.
Got a lot of things already written down. Should have shortened your
No.
paragraphs there. Why? Okay, well, Amberpetal. Is that the right name? Am I
Yep.
saying it right? Okay, cool. Do you have anything?
So again, like I said, I think both cats are good because again, the decision that Squirrelflight would take the kids was made by both of them with some heavy influences. I believe Squirrelflight speaking her mind during during the new prophecy. I believe that was a good choice. I think she was like. I feel like she was doing less out of argumentativeness, like Crowpaw, but was more so doing it because she felt like she was not being heard and she wished to actually be saying something. You know, training herself to actually be a good deputy and be able to stand up against Ramblestar.
Yeah.
I also
Right.
think that Leafpool's a good cat because, again, she was also kind of like told to have the kits. Like she was,
What?
it's kind of destined. Can't do much about it.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
Uh, that's a large portion of what I have to say. Is that I think they're both good.
Yeah, I don't think that she's like, just to be clear, I don't hate Leafpool.
Yeah, after
I
all
just-
the research I've done, I've started to hate Squirrelflight less.
Yeah. I feel about the same about Leafpool, honestly. But I don't think she was terrible. I just think that one decision that she made was like real bad, you know?
Mhm.
And it kind of messed with a lot of people's lives. And it was just
Yeah.
like, whoa. And she
also-
really didn't do a ton to fix it. So,
the
other than that,
whole
she was fine.
influences with Yellowfang and I think on I read was Feathertail gave a speech. If that's
Yeah.
correct.
Feathertail gave like a whole speech to Leafpool, if I remember correctly, saying that like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine with you dating Crowfeather."
What?
Huh?
Yeah. And again, Feathertail is a StarClan cat,
Oh yeah, yeah. I
and
remember.
Feathertail was Crowfeather's ex. And then Feathertail said that was fine that Leafpool was with Crowfeather. She was directly told that was fine for her to be with Crowfeather.
Yeah, it was the same thing with Spotted Leaf and Sandstorm, which I didn't really get still.
Wow. I didn't know this. See, that makes me feel like a little bit better about Leafpool then, because I didn't know that she was like getting the green light of all these things. I thought she was just breaking the rules and was just fine with it. Because she just was selfish. But I mean, if they were telling her the whole time that it was fine, then I guess I'm not that mad.
StarClan knew it was it had to happen. It was like the prophecy and stuff. So they were trying to do their best to make that happen, I guess.
So they were kind of pushing her towards Growfeather. So I guess that makes me rethink some things. But I still like Squirrelflight better. I mean, even if they did, I don't know. I'm conflicted.
Yeah, you haven't read the new prophecy, which you definitely need to. But yeah. Leafpool's Wish and Squirrelflight's Hope, and also Ramble Star's Storm, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
God. The fact that they both just died. It's a thing. Strip. What happened was like there's this group called the Sisters. This is talked about during Bronze Stars Storm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this group called the Sisters, and they're all around. They're just there, and they're living between two clans' land. One of them being Thunder Clan, and the clans get very annoyed at them staying there, so they decide to try to attack them and kick them out. And during that time, Leafpool and Squirrelflight are trying to help the leader of the Sisters give birth. And what happens is that the cave collapses and kills Squirrelflight and Leafpool, and Squirrelflight's like, no, and like they get a choice, and Squirrelflight's just like, no, I'm staying alive, and Leafpool's like, nah, I'll die.
Ow!
What?
How nice.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
I haven't read Bramble Stars Storm, but it's just like brushed over during the broken code, and it's like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I saw that Leafpool died from a rock slide, which if the cave collapsed, that's not really a rock slide. It's just like a bunch of stuff falling on them, but which is what a rock slide is. But I pictured it as like a cliff, and it just rocks falling off of that and landing on her. But
no, I'm pretty sure it was like a cave-in.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny because that's how Hollyleaf like faked her death, right?
Yeah.
Anywho.
But they get to choose. They get to choose if they die. I mean, I've heard it like Squirrelflight was too stubborn to die.
At least I know that's what happened was that Squirrelflight decided just not to.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Legend.
Like, that's not something
She's great.
you just decide.
Apparently it is. She's tough.
It's like, I am gonna ramble and hope and grumble to all of these StarClan cats until they make me alive again.
That's what she was praying for during the new prophecy.
Yeah. That makes sense. Sure.
Alright, so
Warrior Cats, the series of wait, what? They can do that? They can.
Yeah. So are we declaring a winner, or should we wait and like let this be seen by people and let them vote on it? Because it seems like a good idea.
Yeah. I think people have their own opinions and they're not really gonna have them changed by us, but
I don't know. My mind changed a little bit. I am not as mad at Leafpool as I was. Still think Squirrelflight's better.
Okay, so idea for if we do like a poll for it, we could have it so there's like a link to the video and then say, after watching this, how has your opinion changed? Say, do you like Squirrelflight more than you used to? Do you like Squirrelflight more than Leafpool now? Did you always like Squirrelflight, and then so on for Leafpool as well, and see how things go.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We'll do that. Let me know if we at least made a difference.
Yeah.
It was pretty even. The poll that we did before we talked about this, where I did it on Twitter, and it was like very close the whole time, like neck and neck. So I think it's kind of split on this one, which I think is going to be different if we do more, like the Millie and Silverstream one. I'm probably going to be defending Millie, but I know people are going to be team Silverstream all the way, I'm sure.
Yeah, and for like Blue Star versus Black Star, I like Black Star, but you're going to be defending Black Star.
So this one's probably the one that's the most split, I'd say, but it's interesting. It will be interesting to see if we
Yeah.
changed any minds or if they
Also,
are the same.
earlier today, I watched a podcast, or not really watched a podcast. I listened to a podcast on, like, I found it on Discord, the whole Discord Warrior Cats podcast community thing. I found it, and I watched it. It was just one of the people I had role played with and befriended, and then another person I didn't know that well, and they were just doing this roundtable debate on whether Hollyleaf or Dovewing deserve to be the third cat of the prophecy or the fourth
I
cat.
would love to do that one too. That's a good one.
Yeah. So Raven Blaze, which was the one the cat I had befriended here. I wouldn't really say befriended. I don't know. I don't know that one. I don't know any of them that well.
Anyway,
Yeah.
continue.
But she was defending Hollyleaf.
Okay. Who would you defend if that was the?
Definitely Hollyleaf.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
kind of me too. I
Yeah.
think, even though I don't, kind of murderous, and I'm not sure if I don't know. I like Dovewing, and a lot of people seem to hate Dovewing, so I'm not really sure why.
Dovewing.
I don't get why.
She's whiny and just.
Every cat in this whole freaking series is whiny, so not a good answer.
She does stuff more based on her emotions, and I'm not saying that Hollyleaf didn't do that because she wanted to kill Leafpool and also faked her own death and killed Ashfur because on her own emotions. But Hollyleaf was more restricted to the warrior code and following it at all costs.
I'm sensing a pattern that you like the cats that follow the warrior code. Is that true? Am I right in assuming that? Because I like the ones that break it, if I'm honest. Not like murder break it, but like
I like
bend it a little.
Firestar. I like Leafpool, and Leafpool definitely broke the warrior code a little bit there.
Yeah, but she pretends that she doesn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can wrap it up if you want. I'm sleepy. I mean, do you have anything else?
I would just say I'm just gonna say something about Squirrelflight here. It's not that it's not gonna defend my case in any way. So, I think the only way I'll like Squirrelflight's character is if she steps down as deputy and retires to become an elder. She won't be in the story as much, and an elder's whole purpose is to tell stories of the long lost past and also to be grumpy towards apprentices and kittens. So, I bet she'll be a ruthless elder. Unless she dies, of course, which I wouldn't be unhappy about.
Seems like she does. I already read that, so.
Oh. Well, she decided she hadn't died. So.
Yeah. I don't know, actually. I think it was decided that she hadn't died. That maybe I'm confused. Anyway. Yes. I don't think she should step down as deputy. I haven't gotten to the part where she is deputy or any of that, but I'm sure she's great at it.
Yeah. Also, back to Dovewing. I don't really like Dovewing because she went against Lionblaze, her mentor, a whole bunch. Which, I mean, why not?
Yeah, Lionblaze is like, I love him, but kind of goof.
And so he was just mentoring the two little sisters, Ivypool and Dovewing, along with his mate, Cinderheart. And just, I like Ivypool so much better than Dovewing.
Yeah, I sense that is a theme.
Yeah.
Most people feel that way, I think. I don't know. I kind of was even on them when I was reading that. But I was also really bored because Jay Feather wasn't in it as much, and that's my favorite kitty. So I was like, "Where's Jay Feather at?" the whole time, and then I eventually stopped. So
yeah. In the 5th book, why did you not finish the series? Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Because
I read I'm like a really slow reader, and I just like have stops where I don't get back into it for a while, and then one of those
Yeah.
just
I read one Warrior Cats book in one day, so
that's insane. I could never do that.
yeah, I just picked up the book every free chance that I had.
Oof.
Yeah.
Starcon. I remember I one time read an entire Wings of Fire book in one day. It was one of
Wow.
the larger ones as well. Like it was one of the finale books,
Oh.
and it's like I think I read it in like I think I read it like I ate lunch and then I just spent the rest of the day reading it until like dinner, and I had finished it. And it's like,
Wow.
woo, that's one way to definitely take in what you're reading.
Yeah.
I'm so not like that. I read like a couple chapters and I'm like, my eyes need a break.
Oh wow.
Even if it's really good. Like in Power of Three, you would always switch perspectives like constantly. So I would get to like Lion Blaze or Hollyleaf and I'd be bored and I'd be like, okay, I can stop now. If it was Jay Feather the whole time, I'm sure I could have read on, you know?
Yeah. It was that way with Firestar. In the Prophecies Begin, it was just in his perspective, and so I was kind of wondering what it would be like if I was in like Gray Stripes or someone else's perspective. That was interesting. So
Yeah, it's real. I wish they went back to that style more, because the only time they have a book where you're only in one perspective after the prophecy begins is in A Vision of Shadows. The first book, you only have Elder Heart or Elder Paw.
oh, I thought you would go back to Sparkpaw. I read like 2 chapters, and they were both Elderheart, and I was kind of upset because I wanted to go into Sparkpaw's perspective.
Well, apparently it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. The perspective characters for that arc are Elderheart and two other cats that you meet like at the very end of that book.
Oh.
And I don't think you even get their perspective in that book. So yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. So after I read the 2 chapters on a Vision of Shadows, I was told by someone on Discord, like I put up a poll in a different server, asking some people which series I should read next, which book, and it was Blue Star's Prophecy, I think another book, and then it was uh, Dawn of the Clans and A Vision of Shadows. So Dawn of the Clans won out by a very long shot. So I started reading Dawn of the Clans, and I'm not even finished with the Sun Trail yet. Like I just haven't been motivated.
Yeah,
So
I have not read the beginning of the Dawn of the Clans. Forgot the name. Yeah, I have not read that. I just wanted to read like how I'm reading it is I'm going to read all up until the paper copy ends, and then I'd have to get like the hard copy books, and then I'm going to read Dawn of the Clans, and then I'm going to read some bonus ones until paperbacks come more, because
yeah,
I'm cheap.
I find it like difficult to like. I haven't read any of the big like standalone books where it's like just one cat, like Bramble Claw Storm or Bramble Star Storm or Blue
yeah.
Star's Prophecy or all that.
I s-
I would like. I don't know how those fit into the timeline, and it bothers me to not read things as they happen. You know.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I like don't like.
I just recently finished Omen of the Stars, and I went back to Blue Star's Prophecy, and that was just like a huge time jump. So for me, because Blue Star was an elder in elder aged, because in the Prophecies Begin, which was whenever I started reading, unlike you.
Sorry.
Technically, I have read one supplementary book. It was the first Warriors book I ever read. It was the Ravenpaw's Path manga.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah, everyone's favorite, the little Ravenpaw,
Yeah,
hanging out with
That's
Barley on the barn.
yeah. That
yeah,
sounds fun. I'd be interested. I don't even. I never even met him really in the books that I read, obviously. But
yeah. And
from what I've heard, I would be down to read a Ravenpaw book.
oh yeah, in the first series, I was sort of like, I Ravenpaw was definitely my favorite character, and then Blue Star, and then Gray Stripe, because there wasn't that many options of characters to like, and then there was White Storm probably, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with that quite closely. Yeah, I think favorite characters for me would probably be Ravenpaw, Blue Star. Then I'd probably say like Silverstream, then Gray Stripe. Like I like those.
Yeah. Right now though, Blue Star is my favorite character overall, and Gray Stripe is my third favorite character, and then Jay Feather is my second favorite character.
Woo!
Yeah, we should probably wrap up soon.
Yeah. Our debate ended a little bit ago, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's fun.
Yeah.
Nice hangout, Satch.
So we have Discord, Twitter. We're streaming Stray, which I haven't done in a while because I'm still recovering from the big knowledge bomb at the end there, and I just haven't been in the mood to play. And then there is something else I wanted to mention. I don't know what that was anymore, so probably not relevant.
Oh, Elderpetal. If you want
Amberpetal.
to... Amber! Sorry. I had Elder something. We were
Elderheart.
talking about Elderheart. Yes. Anyway, if you want to promote any of your stuff, you totally can.
Well, I
Here's the
have
space.
a channel named Boofer. It should be linked in the description, hopefully. I make the intro music for the videos, and
Woo!
Yay.
I also just have a lot more music on my stuff. I have like 3 songs I'm all super proud of that I have to release, and I just haven't gotten to drawing them. And it's really annoying because I like them all. I find them all great sounding, but I just haven't drawn for them. It's infuriating.
Right.
But yeah, hopefully those will be up soon and you'll get to see my musical prowess.
Yeah.
Yay.
I've listened to some. It's very cool. And I also love our intro music. It's fun and awesome. So thank you. Thank you for hanging out with us all the time too, in streams and stuff. Makes us feel a little bit loved to have one friend. So, anywho,
Yeah.
wrapping it, I guess.
The warriors beneath the moon are calling, and it's time for us to go. Goodbye.